boy discovered a chunk of his friend's flesh in the soup because of the tattoo on it. His classmate had the exact same word tattooed on his neck. It turned out that the chef, in order to make the broth more flavorful, had wrapped his son's head in sandpaper and then thrown it into an iron pot to simmer over low heat, directly turning it into a rich and aromatic noodle broth. As soon as the ladies' noodle shop opened, a huge crowd of students came to eat. The soup was so incredibly fragrant that after finishing one bowl, they kept coming back for more. Many students suspected something was added to it. To uncover the truth, Mike, a social media influencer, came to check it out, with his audience constantly egging him on. Mike mustered his courage and sneaked into the kitchen, determined to uncover the broth's hidden secret. Just as he was about to lift the lid, the ladies suddenly returned, but backed by his hundreds of thousands of followers. Mike remained undeterred and pressed on. In the ensuing struggle, they accidentally knocked the pot to the ground. Several oddly shaped bones caught his eye. They looked somewhat like a dog's head. Since eating dog heads is illegal in the area, Mike kept filming from the sidelines, completely oblivious to the woman's actions. As she quietly hid the gauze-wrapped human head, faced with the classmates' insults and accusations, the woman offered no explanation. Afterward, business at her noodle shop plummeted, while Mike, thanks to this live stream, shot to fame, becoming the school's top internet celebrity, and got a tattoo on his neck as a memento. One day, as he was heading out for a late-night snack, he was suddenly bumped twice by a man in black. Mike was so furious he could barely contain himself, so he immediately set off in pursuit, determined to make the man in black kneel and apologize. However, the man in black drew a knife from his back, and without a word, launched a surprise attack on Mike. Fortunately, Mike dodged in time and wasn't injured, but after this incident, he didn't back down, and returned to the woman's noodle shop to live stream again, claiming he wanted to kill her to silence her. Before the woman could explain, Mike pointed to a group photo on the table, and claimed her son was the murderer, because the man in black was wearing the same clothes as in the photo. Fortunately, the principal rushed over to help, and even brought a test report, explaining that the bones in the soup pot weren't dog bones, but simply bones from a regular suckling pig, which are the raw materials for top-quality broth. The woman instantly became the victim, and instead accused Mike of resorting to any means for fame. Instantly, his classmates began distancing themselves from him. Even his best friend wouldn't bother with him, just as he was agonizing over his regret. A Persian cat suddenly caught his eye. Seeing this, Mike had a sinister idea. The next second, the Persian cat was stuffed into a burlap sack. He planned to use the cat's corpse to frame the woman. Mike then sneaked into the noodle shop's kitchen, where he discovered an altar to completely destroy the woman. Mike prepared to go live and expose everything, but strangely, his phone screen kept flickering. Just then, a man in black suddenly appeared, and pressed down hard on his head. Mike broke free and tried to escape, but the man in black blocked his path again, scaring him so badly he wet himself. It turned out the man in black was the mad woman's son. At the boss's command, the man in black vanished into thin air. Afterward, Mike kept apologizing to the lady, but it was already too late. The very next second, the lady swung her knife, sending Mike to meet his great-grandmother. The next day, the noodle shop opened as usual. Students came to eat noodles in a steady stream, and the broth tasted even more delicious than before. But soon, some students noticed something was wrong. They were terrified by the tattoos on the pieces of meat in the soup.